Hey Bionic fam, what's going on? Remember me? Maybe not, because it's been many months. I think it was like last year, the last time I checked in with everybody and updated you on my experience after major surgery. And the date today is April 18th, 2023. And let's see what's going on. Come on.
Sometimes life just gets tough. So let's get through it together. I'm Chris Lopez, and this is Bionic Living.
So I think the last time I checked in was maybe 6 months ago, September of 2023. I think I did like some ridiculous unboxing holiday edition. It wasn't very helpful because it had nothing to do with the usual subject matter that we discuss. And just to update you on me, if you're checking in for the first time or if you're forgetting what we're talking about, my name is Chris Lopez. This is Bionic Living. It's just me kind of giving regular updates, or as regular as possible, with my body and what's going on with my everyday life after major surgery. I had a first major surgery back in 2018. I had a right hip replacement. I was in my mid to late 30s, and it sucked to have to get the news that my hip was gone. There was nothing else to do. I could barely walk, I could barely live, I could barely work. So I went to a surgeon, reputable surgeon, and had a hip replacement. After that hip replacement, my leg was super short, and I was in more pain than ever. I finally found another surgeon who looked at the prosthesis and stated that everything had to be redone. That it wasn't done right, it never took, and yes, my leg was completely shortened and it shouldn't have been. So 2 years later, in 2020, I'm now 40, I had a complete hip prosthesis revision. Everything came out and it was completely replaced. Nice thing is the pain went away, my leg was even, I could wear normal shoes again that didn't have a lift, and I felt like life was normal. But then I still kind of had a residual pain in my leg, different than the hip pain that was just kind of uncovering itself. I started getting drop foot a couple years later, and I went back to that last hip surgeon stating I needed a brace because I couldn't keep lifting my leg because it was hurting so much and I couldn't lift the leg, I couldn't lift the foot. Lo and behold, I had a spondylolisthesis, grade 2, grade 3, almost like a fractured vertebrae, not your typical spondylolisthesis. At some point it was fractured in multiple areas and had just shifted out of the spine. I had to have an ALIF PLIF fusion in the September of 2022. I think this was like during pandemic times, and it was a rough recovery. It took about 2 years to become pain-free. So this is where we're at. Now it's April 2023. My last update was in September 2022. Guys, I'm off a year. My surgeries were 2016, first hip replacement, 2018, second hip replacement, and 2020 was my back fusion. So we're now 3 years after my back fusion. Ignore everything I just said. But I'm feeling great. I really don't think about it that much anymore. My right hip feels good, my right leg is good, the right leg is strong. I've finally regained all my strength. I'm able to walk, I do high-level Pilates, I do some functional fitness. At work, I still do watch what I do and avoid doing really taxing things on my body because I don't want to have surgery for a very long time. So there is light at the end of the tunnel, okay? The issue is now my left hip, and it's killing me. Right now, today feels pretty good. It's nice, it's warmer here in Chicago, sun's out, and so I feel pretty good. And I notice if it's colder, gray, the pain kind of gets to me. So I do have left hip pain now, and it's kind of like playing with my mind. When is that going to need to be replaced, since I've been living with this like body that's been off kilter for my whole life? So in regards to the spine fusion, it's going well. I'm so grateful I had the surgery. Again, it was in September of 2020. I'm 3 years out. It's spring, 2023 here in Chicago, and all my issues from that are gone. All issues from my right hip are gone. My hip prosthesis feels like my own hip. It feels better than the hip I had my whole life. So the main issue now is the left hip. So I'm kind of like a sinking ship. We're going to clog and fix one hole, and then another hole pops up, and another hole pops up. But to be honest, I'm going to try and get to age 50. I have 5 years before I have another major surgery. I hope this hip holds up. I'm taking all the supplements, all the vitamin D, the chondroitin sulfate, the glucosamine, staying hydrated, staying active and mobile, avoiding high impact activities, avoiding lifting heavy weights. But I do Pilates. To be honest, I probably could run, but I have restrictions because of my hip revision. But I'm feeling pretty good. I'm able to swim laps. That's something else I do and keeps me going. And I just try and stay positive, meditate, keep an active social life, read, learn another language, all kinds of stuff just to keep myself moving. And I really, really find myself not thinking about the pain. I think that's why I'm not making many videos, because I'm not that person anymore that's defined by my health and defined by the surgery that I'm overcoming. So it's kind of nice to be back to feeling myself. And hopefully you'll get there too. There was something else I wanted to tell you, and what was it? Fun part of getting older, forgetting things. Traveling. I've been traveling a lot. That's another reason I haven't made a video, because the past winter in Chicago, I promised myself I'd travel more than ever since the first time I'm the most pain-free in my life. I have some savings, and some vacation time. So I traveled. I took long trips. I went to Spain in the fall. I went to Mexico a few times. I went to Italy just recently and got back in March for my birthday. So the long plane rides, I do take some ibuprofen just to make sure that I'm not stuck somewhere and in pain. I do have tramadol with me that I never take. It's just kind of like there. And to be honest, I've had the same bottle forever, but it's just like a safety blanket when I travel, just in case I'm on that plane. That's the only time I worry about the pain, is stuck on these long plane rides. I just wear comfortable clothes, compression stockings, and loose-fitting, garments. So if I do have pain, I'm not in too much problems. But to be honest, I've been able to travel and sit in a plane and feel fairly comfortable. So that's good news. And the sad news is that I am not walking as much as I should be. I do walk a few times a week. I live in the city, in a very walkable area. So I do get out on a Saturday morning usually and walk 4 miles, 3 or 4 miles. But the reason I've stopped, and this is kind of a key, I think, why I did so well in all my recoveries, is that I've always had a dog. And recently my dog passed right before the holidays on Thanksgiving. And since not having the dog, my walking and my steps has dramatically decreased. My anxiety has increased. So my last little bit of recommendation on recovering from surgery and staying positive is owning an animal, especially a dog that you can walk and that keeps your hormones in check and actually helps you produce oxytocin when you're around the animal. And people say, what happens? Do active people get dogs, or do dogs make people active? Because dogs need to be walked. So I do recommend, if you're healthy and if you've gotten through most of your recovery after any surgery, is to think about dog ownership if you have the time, the responsibility, the home, and the space, because that dog will force you to get out every day and walk. And also just have moments of just mental wellness and mindfulness, because you're connecting with this animal, and dogs are great. I'm not sure when I'm going to get another dog now that I'm trying to travel, but I will say having this dog all through the past 7-8 years has been a crucial key for my health physically and mentally. I'm going to leave you on that note. Again, please comment below with any questions or concerns if you're going through back pain, hip pain, any kind of orthopedic surgery. I've been through 3 and probably will be going through more. And I'm an active person, I'm athletic, so I find ways to continue my movement and stay healthy through mindfulness and nutrition. So I'm Chris Lopez. It's been great catching up with everybody. This is Bionic Living, and keep living your best bionic life if you're already there, and I'll talk soon. Be safe, be strong.